Thursday morning, March the 23rd. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, and hopefully get your day off on a bright note. We'll get you updated on all of the things that we are tracking. First and foremost, top two things that we are watching. A wonderful morning. Maybe you've stepped out. Maybe you haven't. I took the kids to school. It was lovely out there. We'll talk about that. And the heat building. We've had this as our big weather storyline the last few days' time. And now we're basically starting to get there. The pool at the Burris household is open. It is that kind of a day. I hope you're having a great morning. Let's take a live look outside, shall we? Our Tower Cam network looking over in Brevard County. Rise and shine, my friends. It is beautiful, beautiful outside. Partly cloudy skies, comfortable temperatures. First warning, live Doppler radar. What you're seeing there, if I lapse this, they call them rooster rings, essentially birds taking off and going flying. So no rainfall, it's just those rooster rings that we're tracking. When the radar's nice and sensitive, because the atmosphere allows for it, there's not much going on, that's what you get. So a nice quiet start to the day. 55 in Ocala, 57 degrees New Smyrna Beach, and it is 57 degrees in St. Cloud. Temperatures today looking dynamite, aren't they? 75 by 11 o'clock. About 82 degrees by 1 o'clock and 85 degrees by 3 o'clock this afternoon. So it looks just beautiful, beautiful, bright sunshine. This is the stuff, my friends, that dreams are made of. Love to see that. Love to see that. So with that, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Papa says I'm watching live from Ghana on the other side of the planet. Good morning to you. Crystal, Terry, Mersa, good morning, everybody. Jamie over on YouTube, did you stay awake for the launch? I tried, and then I fell asleep. And then I woke up and I had to laugh. I woke up to somebody criticizing me on Facebook. He never responds. I was with my children and then I fell asleep. How rude of me. Anyway, yeah, I didn't make it. I would have loved to see it. Read the summary. It looks like it made it through, and then there was an anomaly on the second stage. What a cool... I'll have to go back and watch the YouTube link. Literally put the kids to bed. I literally put the kids to bed and then passed out. I mean, I fell asleep. I was tired. And then I woke up a few minutes late this morning, but no idea why. Such is life. So, oh well. Jamie, did you stay awake for it? Did you see it? How was it? The methane engines. That had to be so cool, that blue coloring. Sherry, good morning to you. Crystal. Eric, haven't seen you on Wesh 2 lately. Am I on vacay? I was on Monday. Tuesday, I did the noon show, and then I had to come home for sick kids. And yesterday, I was just doing some housekeeping things around the station. Yeah. Tiffany, I fell asleep to the rocket go. It did go up last night. Charles over in Cal. Ooh, it's early. What are you doing up so early, bud? It's early. And did they hit max Q? They went beyond max Q. They showed that the 3D printed rocket can sustain maximum aerodynamic pressure. So it was a success in terms of in terms of what their goals were for the mission. How cool is that, right? Man, James says, need some rain. When do we get back into those sea breeze patterns? Yeah, we'll be definitely discussing the adjustments to things. When do we get into that summer pattern normally, etc., etc.? So for sure, let's dive a little deeper into that, James. First off, temperatures today, average high temperature is 80 degrees. We are going to keep going and going and going, right? 85, our high temperature in Orlando today. 88 degrees in Leesburg, 87 in the Villages. So it's looking good. It's looking good. Kenneth says it went up at 11:25. Yeah, there was zero ability for my body to be up that late. Even when I do the night shows, by 11 o'clock, I'm like half zombie. Good gravy. Good gravy. Man, oh man. Jen says it was beautiful, and yes, you could see the blue. I'll have to go back and watch it for sure. Justin says, was a cool launch. Wasn't as bright as SpaceX. Saw some cool blues, though. Well, it shouldn't be. It's a smaller rocket. But it's cool. It's cool. Charles says, staying on East Coast time. It's a bear if I let myself switch to this time zone and fly home. Smart man. Smart man. I always knew you were a smart man. Delayed by a boat in range and then weather in the upper level winds. Yeah, I made it far enough to post the latest weather balloon before the launch, showing the upper level winds. Yeah. Patty says, that person criticizing you is so rude. After all you do, ignore the ungrateful snot. I just laugh when the person was like, I raised 2 kids. There's no excuse for Eric not responding. And I'm like, bro, I'm always on my phone. As it is, my wife is like, can you get off your dang phone? And it's not enough for you? Well, when you pay my paychecks or help run the house that I live in, I will listen to you. Otherwise, I don't give a dang what you have to say. I will give you every bit that I can, but I will give you no more than that. And that goes for all of you friends. That goes for my wife. That goes for Wesh. I will give you all every bit of me, but you will get no more than every bit that I can offer. And if you don't like it, go hit pavement. Schmucks. Hey, vey. I just have to laugh. I literally have to laugh. Like, no excuse. How rude. Good God, how rude. And then I sip my coffee and I realize none of that matters because we're all here. And if you don't like it, get out. We're having a good time. We're talking weather. All right. So when do we usually start to get some rain? We know we're in the dry season, right? The prescribed burns help clear the brush for that driest, crispiest part of the dry season. But when does that rainy season usually return? Let's chat a little bit about it. All right. Normal dates for the rainy season start... I mean, the earliest on record is early May. The latest on record is July, right? So, here's a look at like some of the last several years. Normally it starts the end of May. So we've got a ways to go. And the reality is the end of March is usually March, April, and the beginning of May usually are fairly crispy time periods for us because we're not yet to the rainy season, but we're drier. It's what it is, right? The deficit continues, and the drought, I believe, either we already got a new drought monitor or we get a new one today. But we are now in a moderate drought, and parts of South Florida can... Yeah, so this is not a new one, I don't think. I think the new one comes out later today. But parts of Southwest Florida are under a severe drought, and we're going to see that continuing to spread more and more and more. So, yeah. It is what it is. Taylor, Eric is trying not to say blank off. You are correct. Keep job, keep paycheck, keep putting food on the table. Because even though today's my off day, and here we are having a conversation about weather, not good enough, still have to make sure not to make the boss mad. So, all right, so we looked at that. Drought levels are continuing to increase. The problem is we're not in the rainy season. So looking at the 7-day forecast, there you go. There are a few showers, but don't get excited. There's not a ton of rainfall in there. Just not a ton of rainfall. Yeah. Love that coffee. My moment of zen. Bruce, I hope it wasn't me who was rude. No, Bruce, you asked a question and then that person chimed in that I never answer. You're fine to ask a question, and when I can respond, I do respond. When I can't respond, I don't. Bruce, you're good, buddy. Jen says I missed it. That's fine. Jillian says Papa Bear at it. That's right. Listen, it is what it is. I love doing what I do, and a part of the job is you're going to have to deal with some rude people. Listen, I've dated rude people. They're out there. I didn't marry them. It's a different story. That's right. Oh, well. John, question, what makes some highs and lows persistent? Weak steering flows, among other things? Yeah. So, there you go. All right, so 7-day forecast showing a few sprinkles. Basically, it's like a front that stalls out. You can see there is a little bit of a break in the heat. It's not like we drop down into the 50s and 60s again for highs, but there's a little bit of break, which leads me to the next point, which is, what do the models say? If you recall yesterday when we were on Coffee Talk, the GFS was talking about high temperatures at 99 degrees. And if you join us for the afternoon Coffee Talk, I showed you the model run yesterday that no longer showed 99 for a high temperature. But what do the models show today? Well, I finally got the opportunity to spend some time and to build. It's basically this. I took and built this, but I built it in the weather computer so that it looks prettier. Okay, so everybody, and by the way, as I'm doing this, Alex Alisi's like, and yes, I'm calling you out by name, Alisi. Alisi's like, can't you just show the weather bell data? And I'm like, but I'm the graphics guy, so it has to look good. So anyway, there's the raw GFS data, okay? There it is. Now, that being said, we don't obviously have 99 on the map anymore, but you can still see where the GFS is wanting to go pretty hot on a couple of occasions, right? And then there's that little bit of a break into Wednesday, and I believe that that's what we were looking at on the 7-day forecast, that little bit of a break into Wednesday, right? I'm just playing a little analyzation here. Yeah, Wednesday, 80 degrees. So there you go. But the GFS as a whole is showing that little break there on Wednesday. Not anything massive, but, you know. What's interesting is the model is wanting to go much lower. Run to run is where you're like, nah, don't really know about all that. But GFS, you know, that's why this is guidance. The 7-day is a forecast, right? And that's why we do that, because we'll have to watch for some consistency. If it continues to show that lower temperature, then maybe we drop the high. But either way, you're not seeing 50s for daytime highs, right? That it's as simple as that. And so there's a couple of fronts, on the horizon, but nothing that's going to cause jackets really to come out much. Morning low temperatures drop into the mid 50s here at the end of March. And then heading into April, we're back into warmer weather, which it looks lovely. I mean, it's absolutely lovely. It is lovely. But the pool is open. The pool is open. Taylor, we have our predictions and bets up for the first tropical system on the chat group. Oh, do you? Is that a thing? We're making bets? How funny. I guess it makes for something. Oh, man. What would it take for Orlando to hit a severe drought? New viewer here. Well, first off, Groovier X13 on YouTube. Thanks for hanging with us. What would it take? A couple more weeks of rain-free conditions, completely rain-free conditions, which, is very likely, frankly. When we look at the kind of longer term, we were looking at the GFS, but let's look at the GFS and the rain department here. Like storm system goes up and around us, doesn't come here. Some shower opportunities there around the 28th of March, right? Around the 28th, 29th of March. There's some shower opportunities there for us. That's not really much. So there's really, truth be told, there's just not much in the way of rain opportunity for us. There's some shower activity there around April 6th. So the 28th and the 6th, and I'd be willing to bet that that's about, the 28th is before that front, and then the 6th, you're kind of watching a little dip. So it's like little weak fronts that are coming through, Yeah. So there you go. There you go. Couple of showers. I have a feeling, and I haven't seen, I think the drought monitor comes out today. I think the new data comes out Thursdays. So I would be willing to bet, though, that we start to see more and more area, like if we just look at the state of Florida as a whole, right now it's southwest Florida that's under that severe drought. I'd be willing to bet that you're going to start to see more and more areas falling into that severe drought. Because just looking at the yearly numbers, each day that we don't get rain, our deficit continues to fall. We're over 5 inches of rain in the red in Leesburg. We're approaching 5 inches of rain in the deficit department in Orlando. And even our wettest location per se, Melbourne, is 3.25 in the red. So we are very much falling behind more and more and more. Yeah. Taylor, I don't have filters. With my old boss saying what the blank or saying people need to blank off was very common occurrence. I would say this, Taylor. It's my job to have a filter here. In person, I have a little bit less of a filter. Not to get you riled up at April calendar. I'll work on that today. I promise. What ended up happening yesterday, we ended up I'll show you. Not that it matters. But we ended up upgrading to max. Of course, you can't see it. Here, let me make it so that you can see it real quick. We ended up upgrading to max version 7.9. Because remember on Coffee Talk yesterday, I was discussing the ability to do that higher resolution thing. I tested it and it works at WESH. So Facebook Lives at WESH will have beautifully high resolution graphics. Facebook Lives at the Burris household, however, are not running beautifully high resolution graphics yet. So I spent my afternoon working on that. So, and I'll tell you, to be able to do Coffee Talk at WESH like this, that left side of your screen there should be full resolution. I tested it. It works. It looks unbelievably beautiful. So we'll get there. I just need to work a little bit more on it. But that took my day. But I'm off today. So of course what you're asking me to do is to work on my day off. And if I don't, you're going to say how rude. No, I'll get it working today. I also have to go to the tag office because it's my birthday, my wife's birthday, and we've got a couple of cars that need registration. Otherwise, we're going to get pulled over. I got to do the taxes today. I got to run over to Pat Clark's house. I'm running over to Pat Clark's house. I've got to help him with a couple of things. So it's a busy day. It's a busy day. We'll get it all done. But at least the weather forecast doesn't look bad. Maria, are we going to get weather in the 40s again? I'm so over it. I mean, look, we were just, 7-day forecast says no. And if you just look at the GFS itself, it also says no. Debbie says, Eric, I raised 2 kids by myself from the ages of 1 and 2.5. It's different every single day. People are poop heads, just thinking they know what's best for others. You're an amazing person, dad, son, family man. Thank you, Debbie. Listen, it frustrates my wife so much when people say this. And I could see she's blowing up my text feed because a buddy of mine sent me a text to a group chat of ours about that lady. And my wife is like fit to be tied. If you put yourself in a position in the public eye, whatever level it is, right? Like I do weather on TV. I am not Tom Cruise. I am not a celebrity. But I'm in the public eye. Okay. Opinions are like armpits. And at the end of the day, there's going to be some rude people. People say I get it wrong every day. And it's not every day I get it wrong. I think we do okay. We get it wrong sometimes. How's your NCAA bracket doing, right? Like, not perfect. I bet it's not perfect. You know? So there's people that are going to overshare all the time, and it is what it is. You just have to move on. But here's what I can tell you. I don't care. If you don't like me, get away. I didn't tell you to be here. Right, y'all? We're all hanging out every morning. And what's so cool is we hang out every morning together. That brings me joy in my life. And I will put myself around people that bring me joy and situations that bring me joy. So I thank you. Beverly says, I'm going into listening mode. I hope you have a great day as well. Jeannie's asking, what about humidity with these 90s? It's not summer. It's not summer level, but you know, particularly on a nice elongated stretch like Sunday, Monday, that humidity is going to be creeping up. And then again, looking at like, you know, if this plays out, you know, you get a couple of days of upper 80s, lower 90s. So by like the April 5th, April 6th, April 7th, you know, that's going to be getting there. That's going to be getting there for sure. So, yeah. Chris, do you want me to just go ahead and do the April forecast calendar? Just, it's like 51 days, you know, 51 days, right? Yeah, that's all I'm going to do today, Chris. It's 51 days. So do the highs and lows determine the jet stream path or vice versa? Just trying to understand why we get stuck in drought or wet cycles. Well, it's hard, John, to just like summarize. It's hard to just summarize this happens or that happens, because at the end of the day, there's always modifications to things, right? There's long periods where the jet stream kind of shifts, and it's just, the atmosphere is a river, and it's always ebbing and flowing, and so you just kind of have to understand that. Yeah. It's tough. What I would suggest, God's honest truth, what I would suggest, if you're really interested in learning about the weather, you know, like we definitely go deep here, but we don't get in depth in like the fundamentals. We'll get into it a little bit, but the fundamentals. Go to, like, I know, listen, I mean, I don't know if he still does it, but Dave Cocciarella, who works in sales at WESH, used to be a meteorologist at WESH, used to be a meteorologist over at 13. I know he used to teach a class like Intro to Meteorology over at Valencia. Audit the class. If you have any genuine interest, it's worth every penny. It's like when I took it, it was MET 1010C, MET 1010C. Worth every penny. Everything you need to understand about the atmosphere's fluid dynamics you can learn in Intro to Meteorology. And I'm sure you could find it as well online somewhere where you could audit a class, you know, on video. I would highly suggest that. Any one of y'all, if you are really interested in it, like, do that. Yeah. Debbie says, and it's the day before the drive-thru. And tomorrow is a big drive-thru, y'all. We've got former WESH chief meteorologist Dave Marsh joining us tomorrow on the drive-thru. That's going to be a lot of fun. I very much look forward to chatting with him. Yeah. Nikki, I'm so sorry the person was rude. I called her out. Thank you. I saw that. Listen, Nikki, thank you for being sorry, but we don't need to be... Listen, we are all positive for each other, and that's all I could ask for. I don't like negativity. Period. All right. Janet says, glad you can brush it off. You have to. I've been in television weather for 22 years. I've been on TV for 17. Listen, it's kind of like dating. Not everybody's going to like you. And you don't have to do anything wrong either. You just don't have to do everything right in their eyes. That's okay. Next, you know? Oh boy, what are you going to do? Ryan says, yep, MET 1010. And if anyone wants info on it, I just took it so I can help. Ryan Cedargren, my young Padawan learner up at FSU. So it's still MET 1010? That's funny. I wonder if there's a way to like audit it somewhere. Because seriously, for all of you guys and gals that are interested in weather, like Coffee Talk, great. But I can't get into like all of the dynamics and the fundamentals, the fabric, just because, I can get into some more complexities as things pop up, and that's great. But like if you want to really learn the fundamentals, I highly suggest we'll have to find a way for people to audit a Met 1010 class. I just feel like that to me was 90% of the battle in meteorology. I need to audit that class. It's free for us old folk. Bruce, if you figure, I don't know if I took it at Seminole, back when it was Seminole Community College. I took it at Seminole Community College back in the day. So it's taught on the local level, at least. I highly suggest it. Yesenia's asking if it's a good day for Aquatica. Oh yeah. Look, today we're looking great. Yesenia, go. I think at some point today, my tuchus will be in my pool. Without a doubt. It's great. This is great pool weather. Absolutely. Nobody's perfect, and you're doing amazing with the newest technology you have. Far more advanced from where we were years ago. Well, thank you, Tiffany. Listen, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to say it again. Good morning. Hey, Terry, good morning to you. Good morning. I saw somebody else had posted something. Oh, Brian, I tried to ask Tony the following question last night, but I missed his answer. The question was, with going into an El Nino season, how will it affect the Sahara dust pattern coming off the coast of Africa? And if so, how? So, with El Nino, you typically actually get wind shear. So what you would end up with is with El Nino, you're actually getting shear working against it. So you probably would end up with less Saharan dust, but more wind shear. So you're not going to have necessarily like those Saharan dust days, but wind shear would then limit tropical activity. Yeah. So there's so many elements to this. Tina says Eric will be in the pool with his computer doing the April forecast. Not wrong. Not all that wrong. Yeah. Mercy says Yale University has many classes for free online. Is it possible Florida State or another has something on meteorology worth looking into? Yeah, you know what, Ryan Cedergren, if you're still here, my Padawan, you want to get on that for the group? You want to get on that, buddy? Find Intro to Meteorology that everyone can audit, and I'll take it with you all. There's my commitment. I may only halfway pay attention, but I'll take it with you all. There it is. And I the only reason that I'm willing to take it with you all, I just called you out asking you a question. I don't know if Ryan's still in here, so I'm texting him. I'll take it with you all. That way I know what they go over, and that way I can answer any questions that you all have. There it is. Does that sound good? We just have to find someone that offers MET 1010. Okay, he says he saw it. All right, so Ryan copied and pasted. Okay. All right, so Ryan, there you go. Called you out and texted you as well. Let's find it, and we'll all take it together. I mean, you don't have to take it, but it's I really, for those that are actual weather nerds, seriously, MET 1010. It's a 1,000 level course. It's great. Wendy says everyone will make an A cheating off me. Well, I'm not going to take the test. I already did my 4 years of meteorology school. But we'll tip. Okay, I'll take the test. But if I get anything less than a 90%, I think that I need to take a time out and stop posting on Facebook at all, because I don't know what I'm doing. But we'll have to find it. And I would love to expand the minds. FSU's not going to be free, Ryan said. Ryan, you can post it in Coffee Talk. I don't know why you're texting me. He's texting me. FSU's not going to be free. We don't have free stuff. Find a free one then. You have your assignment. I don't charge for mentor time. Here's your payment. Oh, man, oh, man. If you audit, you shouldn't need to take the test. But isn't it fun to do it anyway? All right, so that's kind of that. Any questions, comments, concerns? Train off the tracks? All of a sudden, I just signed up for another college course. Good gravy. Chris is pointing out that I'm worried about the test. I'm always worried about the test, Chris. That's just my life. Mercy says, why not free? Yales are free. No credit, but free. I don't know. If anybody finds it, I would love to. Listen, that would be a really fun little activity for us. You know? If anybody finds it, somebody Google. Penn State has an online certificate. I don't want an online certificate. Find MET 1010 online for free. Thanks, K. Bye. All right, there we are. Annie says, nervous test taker. Can you tell? There's a reason I don't have a master's or a doctorate. Or went into the academia world. Yeah. All right. So warm temperatures, then you get some showers around. See, what's going to happen is everybody's going to take MET 1010. All of a sudden, we're going to be like, can you talk to me about how the difluence is impacting? I'm like, oh, God, I've created monsters. But here we are. When I lived this will be the final thought. When I lived in South Florida, I remember there was a company, I believe, since gone out of business. It was called Sims. And their shtick was an educated consumer is their best client. Because I think their point was they weren't the cheapest, but if you're there, it's because you know what they offer. So as much as I will sit here and joke around and, of course I did, Taylor, exactly that. As much as I'm a nervous test taker, the smarter all of us are, the more interesting I think these discussions can be. So, Tad says actually your work on the LRC would make for a great thesis. I thought about doing a paper on the LRC and tropical activity. Because Gary Lezak has done a peer-reviewed paper on the LRC in general, but I think I'd like to try and find one on tropical elements. Yeah. So, all right. Somebody... Ryan says, not MET 1010, but National Weather Service Nashville has a great series called Weather 101. We have to find MET 1010, Ryan Cedargren. That's your assignment. And you're not allowed back at WESH. You're not allowed at that WESH chroma key. You're not allowed any mentoring until you find MET 1010. Okay, I'll help you anyway, but let's try and find this. Debbie, I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Enough is enough. I will see you guys and gals at 3:30. Does that where I have a haircut at 3? When is my haircut? I have a haircut at 3, so I'll have to figure that out. We'll figure it out. All right. In the meantime, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Take care. See you guys and gals later on today. Bye.